What's going on, guys? Gilly Del Tres here, creator of Under the Flesh Layer, Pistoleta, Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, and the Deep Dark, the self-published professional here, joined alongside Space Hero, Ron Christian, and this is The Way. We're talking Mandalorian 3, SPOLER-RANT. Episode 4 should be coming out this Friday, hopefully, after Thanksgiving. And Ron, what were your thoughts on the Mandalorian? The third episode.
Dude, I have no words. It was incredible. I really loved it.
That's a very strong word.
I did. I really loved it. It was so good. It was so good, so good. Just action and just badassery. Just the Mandalorian just being a complete badass.
I think you nailed it right there, badassery. For me, I was kind of curious to see where were we going. I mean, he gets Baby Yoda, he gets all this, he gets his bounty, a lot of money, he gets new armor done. He even has it's cool, like this cult, where he meets up with. There's like, for the first time you see like these other Mandalorians kind of looking at him, and there's one dude kind of gets in his face, and they kind of go at it. It's like, you're seeing the culture of the Mandalorians, and it's like in my head, I'm just like, man, so what's up with Baby Yoda? I'm like, I thought this was going to be a big deal. And I love how they show the human side to this, Mandalorian that we never see. We just don't see his face. You don't see his expression, but, he wants to know, what are you going to do with it? And it's like, that's not customary to ask what's going, you handle the bounty and that's it. You don't ever wonder what's, so we know we're dropping some clues into, we know he's not going to leave this episode without getting Baby Yoda back.
We
just know it. And
I like how they juxtaposed the part where the baby kind of comes up to the little lever and unscrews the ball on top of it, starts chewing on it, and then later on when he gets back into his ship, he like sees that it's still off, and like oh,
I thought that was so clever. It's like, yeah, you know what, the little, like he go, it's just like, oh, the knob isn't there. It's just like that was it, man. It's just like these little things. That was his last straw. So I love the part where he's gonna go for Baby Yoda. Like we're going for him. One of these, I guess it's someone from the Empire or what will be the resurgence of the Empire, and they're kind of doing these force tests or some kind of test on him. And you're kind of like, man, this is taking a lot out of him, and you're kind of hoping he'll be there in time where he'll be okay. But we see the Mandalorian. He gets some new weaponry that we're seeing displayed in this image,
and his new armor too, which is awesome. I kind of want a figure of that version of the character as opposed to the one that's already exists, but whatever.
Yeah, I gotta say that I love the action in this episode because he's stormtroopers. He's just giving it to them. He's getting shot up. He's just he's getting hit. His armor is taking its toll. You're seeing the struggle, of the Mandalorian, and he finally gets to Baby Yoda, and he's trying to make his way out, and then all of a sudden you have just what was his name? Carl Weathers, his character.
Yeah, I can't remember what character's name right now, but yeah,
I can't remember his name. Some of these characters, I can't remember their name, but I just love it.
Apparently, someone put out a bounty on him like right away, like right away. It's crazy, like automatically.
He was like, how do you put a bounty on him so fast?
I don't know, but apparently they did, like super fast, because that happened within what, like 10 minutes, right?
It was real quick.
It was real quick, yeah. Yeah, it was. Like,
was it the little? They had like a little fob thing, right? Is that a little beep, beep, that little fob?
Like
yeah.
And
so the moment he walked out with Baby Yoda, I think the bounty went out and everything was like beep, beep, beep. It was like pointing to the Mandalorian, like you said. That was a bounty that was on his head that got put out, I guess, that fast.
Yeah, apparently now he's on the run. Now he's being hunted. At the end of the episode, like, oh crap, okay, well this is gonna get even harder, which is great. Raise the stakes for the show, raise the stakes for the character, for the story, which is awesome. Hello?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I think I cut out for a bit. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, I'm just saying that, it raises the stakes for everything. Now he's being hunted, which is awesome. And
Well, more on that last scene. I think how you said like how they caught up to him. I just loved that shootout.
oh
And
yeah, that
I
was so
love how
cool.
I love how they played it, where it's literally he's like shooting. He got one hand with Baby Yoda. He's shooting. He literally gets into like this small space in the back of a truck, right? And it's like you can't even lift your head. You're getting a shot at it.
He takes out a couple of guys with his cool like electricity. It was so great. It was so great.
He's using everything in his arsenal. He had the flamethrower. He had his blaster. He used the little whispers that we're seeing in the image already. I think he used them up because he was surrounded by like a bunch of stormtroopers. And that when you're kind of like wondering what's going to happen, he drops Baby Yoda. He's just like, okay, then he uses that. But what was so awesome, what was so amazing, and for me, what was just sealed the show that just added a little nice exclamation point is in that little scuffle he had with the Mandalorians in his little guild. He's literally like on this planet and he's like in the back of a trunk with Baby Yoda with no way of getting out. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, the Mandalorian that had a scuffle with him earlier comes with 2-3 other Mandalorians. And it just, it was just all out. It was just all out. It was just like a shootout.
It was very, 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 very cool.
Man, if that didn't get the juices flowing, that's badassery right there.
Yeah.
And the one had a freaking minigun. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It was just it. And you know what I love? I just love that it showed the camaraderie between the Mandalorians because they can go at it. They'll go at it. They'll go against each other. They'll go right at each other. But then on the flip side, like he's like, okay, this is what we're gonna get him out of here. And they band together and they make sure he gets free. Mm-hmm. I just think that was amazing. And I love the little nod where like he gets on the ship and he's flying away and you see one of the Mandalorians like flies up in a little jetpack next to the window and kind of like signals him off sign, kind of like Iron Man, like just waves his, salutes him. And then the Mandalorian, I gotta get me one of those.
that reminds me of something stupid that came out from the episode 9. Did you see the clip? They flying out. Did you see that?
I don't think I think my mind blocked that off already. What was in a trailer?
It was a trailer where the heroes are being chased by some first order stormtroopers, and they're getting chased by and it ends up being that they're chased by stormtroopers with rocket packs, and all the characters seem surprised that there's stormtroopers with rocket packs, even though there's been rocket packs in Star Wars since the Clone Wars era. It's so dumb. It's like, they fly now? Yeah, they fly now. What? It's like, dude, what?
It's like, this has been done already, right?
There's been flying stormtroopers. There's been flying Mandalorians. There's been jetpacks are common in Star Wars, and yet these, Finn, Poe, and 3PO act as if they've never seen that or heard of that in any way, shape, or form. It's so idiotic.
Let me just say that I'm pleased with the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah,
I got so excited. That is where the inner geek in me comes out, where I literally had to hunt down my own personal Mandalorian figure. And I was able to get it at a Barnes and Nobles of all places, and it was just crazy. This is the magic of Star Wars when it gets you into escapism, or it gets to you where you can enjoy a really cool story, and it transplants you in another universe, and you feel like you're a part of that universe, and you're feeling like you're part of that journey.
Yeah.
What's some token of that?
What's kind of sad? I've seen that even there's some people out there who won't even give Mandalorian a chance, which is kind of sad.
That's a joke. This is where you want to put personal politics into fantasy entertainment.
No. Even people who will like agree with us and like who hate to see Star Wars and stuff like that, like they don't want to give it a chance.
Right. Well, let's look at. There's this YouTuber that I follow, Robot Head, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And he was kind of ribbing on the first episode, but I haven't seen any videos where he's ribbing on the second or third. So I guess maybe he kind of understands that, okay, this is actually pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy that I really admire a lot. That I watch a lot of his videos. That I like him. I mean, he does some good stuff, but he obviously me and him obviously disagree on the Mandalorian. He doesn't think it's good. He doesn't want to give it a chance. He's kind of like
he's already hurt. He doesn't want to give it a chance.
Yeah, he's already hurt by Disney Star Wars, and he doesn't want to give this show a chance, which I guess I understand in a way.
Let me tell you, I was like that with EA, and I don't want to give the Fallen Order a chance. But once I understood that the game was developed by Respawn, which had nothing to do with Electronic Arts, and that they were absorbed by EA once EA had the rights to the Star Wars properties, I'm like, okay, so there's something going on here. Like, this is a game that literally EA is publishing, but they're not, developing it. And I'm like, okay, I have to back this game because, again, one thing I don't like about EA is their system to just milk, the consumers, microtransactions in a lot of ways with FIFA games, and then with the Star Wars Battlefront, the loot boxing, which they came under fire. But anyway, their whole thing is like the wave of the future is MMOs. Well, I like to show you by me supporting the Fallen Order that first-person games still have a lot of
single player games,
first player games, single player games have a lot of worth for they're not dying out yet, and in fact when they're done right, there's money to be made because they'll buy it. I'm sure the numbers for Star Wars Fallen Order are pretty good.
I would say they are probably, yeah.
So you got to tell your buddy. I mean, me again. I was burned by Star Wars, but when I saw the Mandalorian, I didn't see how that could be bad.
Exactly. Like
you can't mess this up. And when I know it's Jon Favreau, which I didn't know,
in my opinion, it comes to a point where you're just being stubborn for the sake of being stubborn.
Yeah,
you're not letting yourself enjoy it, anything, because you've already written it off. Oh, anything having to do with Disney Star Wars, no matter if it's good, I'm not even gonna,
Yeah, don't take it there because again, if this turns out to be well, you could see a shift change in the hierarchy where Kathleen Kennedy would be seeing that out with Favreau and we got Favreau, exactly. We can get more of this type of stuff, and we can get the world building again. I mean, it's special.
So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to support good Star Wars. This show and the game are good Star Wars, and I'm going to support it.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Check out The Mandalorian. If you haven't already, just please, it's worth your time. It's very good. It's not lazy, and it does these 30-minute episodes are extraordinary when we're talking about the action. We're talking about the plot and
what's really cool. Okay, check this out. So
this
is an interesting take. You know how Anita Sarkeesian came out and crapped all over the show. What the ironic thing is about this third episode was directed by a woman.
Again, I don't look at that.
No, I'm just saying.
I get it. But my issue with Anita Sarkeesian is that when you look at everything in a way that doesn't cater to your entitled feminist perspective, you will never be satisfied. So in that sense, what she needs to do is create her own story or enjoy the hell out of Rey. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand where we criticize these new storylines for not adhering to what we specifically want. You got to understand that there's a legacy here. There's an efficacy that goes to Star Wars, to the narratives. And when you look at The Mandalorian, it feels like a Star Wars
definitely
work.
There's no that it just works.
It's
for me.
not about male. It's not about female. And then again, when you look at it, because now you're making us go there. When we go there, we saw that there was a female director. That's great. Like, could we stop pretending like females are so oppressed? In the United States.
The thing is, I saw the episode, and then I was watching the end credits, and I saw it directed by so and so, and she, based on the episode, she proved herself. I didn't know that it was directed by a woman. I thought it was directed by Jon Favreau. So for all I knew, but I saw the episode, and then I saw that it was directed by a woman. So it it stood on its own as a great piece of
great,
TV
man.
show.
It's and again, for me, it's not about men and women. And then people are like, yeah, we like it because it was a woman director. You're like, your allegiance or your like what determines how you like something is so skewed that it's ridiculous. That we're on politics and we're not on just enjoying a story for what it is. And this is where, again, it'll go into territory where I'm just like, I don't got the energy for that right now. I gave a response tweet to Anita Sarkeesian that got over 100-something likes, which I thought was pretty cool. And, I mean, I guess now her account is private. I guess I helped attribute to that.
Another cool thing, her name is Deb. What was it? Yeah, Deborah Chow, and she's gonna be the main director for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which is gonna be cool.
It's gonna be great. I never heard of her, but I love what she's doing so far from what I've seen. And as long as we keep to the source material and we keep to making, and not making it about shoehorning current world propaganda into a fantasy or a galaxy far, far away, I'm fine. I mean, there's a time and place for this type of stuff. When we want our escapism, we need it. And we don't need to be bombarded by, NPC politics stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, definitely check out The Mandalorian 3. I think it's amazing. I think the show's really taking up steam. I like where it's going. It's just gonna be an amazing work. It feels like Star Wars. It's getting me excited about Star Wars again. And I feel that it's a win-win for the fans, and hopefully we can have an awesome future, with Star Wars outside of the scope of what's turning out to be a horrible.
And we still have, we still have season 7 of Clone Wars and the upcoming Obi-Wan show, so that could be good Star Wars there too, also. So
yeah, and I would like to see some more original stories, like what I'm seeing with the Fallen Order, or maybe even like a show that could piggyback off the Fallen Order. I don't know how that ends, but I'm just saying, I know the character who plays Cal Kestis, he's a real character. So, I mean, you have it in line where he can take over the character. Like, you really have a recipe for great
That's actually a pretty awesome idea. I like that idea.
Yeah, and this would be done the way
I like the character a lot in the game. He's a really likable character. So
yeah, I think he is, man. And I don't. If he goes through his struggle in the game, from what I'm seeing, he's learning stuff. He's remembering stuff. He doesn't have it easy, and I guess that's just more for the development. As many times as I died in the game, I know he definitely went through a lot. And he was able to respawn with the Force. I'm just saying he went through his bit, but I'm loving the game, and I think we're in the right spot, and I think we can get there. So once we get through Rise of Skywalker, hopefully that can be decanonized. I know if it can't, hopefully we can create a new Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, like I said, if Rise of Skywalker is more than likely going to be garbage, if it is, then that doesn't mean the end of Star Wars. It doesn't mean the death of Star Wars.
Not at all. You could even continue a new Skywalker lineage. You can do that. You can do that if you want. But what I'm saying is,
if you focus on before or way after, you can kind of
if we take if we take a page out of the Mandalorian, we could even center around that, and whatever from this Baby Yoda thing could, domino effect into what could be another trilogy with the Mandalorian that showcases a way bigger hurdle that has nothing to do with the First Order. Maybe a Sith resurgence, like really hardcore, or a new type of empire, because you could always have a part of the empire that's doing stuff in another part of the galaxy that you never heard of, but that's coming now to you, where you can do stuff and you don't have to be handcuffed to the Skywalker legacy. So that's all I'm going to say on that, because again, we're just a lot of exciting things to talk about with Star Wars. We're getting to a good spot, and hopefully the 4th episode will be good of The Mandalorian. And when Rise of Skywalker comes out, Ron and I will definitely do a spoiler rant about the movie, and we can definitely talk about that among other things. But yeah, guys, definitely, let us know what you think about The Mandalorian. If you're checking out the video, let us know what are your thoughts. Let us know what are your thoughts on the whole of the Star Wars legacy, do you see the Mandalorian or the Fallen Order as a hopeful sign of good things?
I like to think so. I do. I can't. I mean, as a fan, for as long as I've been of Star Wars, I can never completely give up on Star Wars. I know a lot of people have already written it off. I can't do that.
The thing that gets me, and this is a real quick, and it could be its own video, but when we think about the Kathleen Kennedy interview, and she's like, "Well, we didn't have resources.
Oh yeah, that's garbage.
Let me tell you, if you need to do one Google search, look up Star Wars Dark Horse Omnibus. Just do that. You're going to get a litany of awesome Star Wars stories, okay, that are incredible. Dating to new characters, dating to the Knights of the Old Republic times, even to current times. Are you kidding me? There was a story that's literally called, I think it's called the Plague, something Curse of the Red Empire or something like that. And it's literally it's centered around one of the Imperial Guards. I don't know if you're like the
Crimson Guard, Crimson Empire. That's what it was.
Crimson. Are you kidding me? This stuff exists?
Yeah.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I read that. That's pretty good stuff. I read that. I remember reading that years ago. Yeah, it was good stuff.
Man, all I'm going to tell you is this is good stuff that could be, I'm like, whoever's getting reinvigorated for Star Wars, this is a good starting point. Because, again, what's considered legends, I think, for me, it's still canon. Because, again, Star Wars is so, like, vast where you could have a story on one of these Imperial Guards and for whatever journey he's going on. But it just shows you where we're going. Boba Fett had his own, Star Wars omnibus thing. Like, are you kidding me? Over 400 pages of material. And you telling me you had this is where you have creative freedom to the point where you could look at these things for source material, for inspiration, but you're like, nah, we'll just go in our little brainstorm room here and we'll just create on the fly. And you're like disregarding a plethora, a treasure trove, a gold mine of amazing material that could be used for more Star Wars narrative stuff.
Yeah, because the new movies aren't doing it they're
not at all. But when you look at the old stuff, are you kidding me? Who's Quinlan Vos? Is he any good? I saw that was like another, like when I was researching, it was like a Star Wars omnibus and like Quinlan Vos or something like that.
I don't think I've heard of that specific character. I mean, maybe, but
Jedi guy again. I'm telling you, the storylines go all over the place. So much material, so many cool things. But
there's a character I liked from one of the stories called Shadows of the Empire, which essentially Shadows of the Empire was a movie that didn't have a movie because it had a comic, it had a novel, it had a soundtrack, it had a video game, it had action figures, but not a movie. Anyway, there's a character in there called Prince Shizor that I always thought was really, really cool. I would like to, if they brought him into something, I don't know what, but it'd be cool.
Who?
Prince Shizor.
Oh, wow.
He's like the head of the criminal organization known as Black Sun. I mean, Black Sun does exist in Star Wars because they have him in Clone Wars, and they have the species that he is in Clone Wars. But the character itself hasn't been brought in. But I like to think that he exists. But whatever.
That's what I'm saying. You got a lot of this from the comic books, from Dark Horse. Yeah. And I know Disney bought it up. Maybe they don't have the right, but they do have the rights to that stuff.
Oh no, they have the rights to all.
They
have the rights to all Star Wars, like all.
And me, Legends is canon. You can't tell me no. I'm sorry. The universe is so bad. You ain't telling. Yeah, I don't give a dang. And Star Wars, the way it's going now, prove that. Yeah, you needed this material. It's still holding up. Anyway, guys, definitely check out The Mandalorian episode 3, episode 1, 2, and 3. Check out the 4 coming out this Friday. Give it a chance. It's amazing. It's a great piece of Star Wars, and we'll definitely look forward to the next talk of Star Wars movie, game, whatever. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, when the show's over, I'm going to binge all of them at once.
We're definitely going to do that, yeah. So a lot of cool stuff to go. Write comic books. Check out Galactic Rodents of Mayhem on Indiegogo, or The Deep Dark on Indiegogo is what I got currently crowdfunding. Even Lair on Indiegogo. And Ron has Paragon Prime, which will be releasing next year. So, we love stories, and we also create stories.
Indeed.
All right, guys. So we'll talk. Take care. Till the next one.
Later.
Later.